All right, what's up, mi gente? It's Big A back at the Woodlands at my free podcast center. I had to come back, man. It was a great time. My last experience here, I had to make up for really for the all the stuttering and everything I did. Some of my coworkers, they watched my episode. They liked that. A lot of people liked that. Like a lot of people liked the message. The message was, we really needed pretty much a day of unity. But some of my coworkers, the ones that give me a hard time, they came over, gave me like little tissue paper, and I was like, "What's this for?" And they were like, "Bro, it sounded like you was about to cry in that episode." So we had to, had to come make sure. And I was like, "Oh man!" So I had to come back, redeem myself. Um, like I was saying, really, I've been doing this for a year, by myself. So I'm here when you have at this podcast and you have somebody helping you out and everything. So I guess I was just nervous and all that, but I'm telling you, man, y'all need to come up here and if y'all want to join the podcast world, come up here. This is the best place to get the great practice and everything. They have the topics like this one right here. What I'm about to talk about. They have everything available for you. So if you're down for podcasting, I recommend coming here and getting that started for yourself. Because I like me, I just did it in my kitchen with my own little camera, no microphone, no nothing. So for for the first couple months, people were telling me my audio was very low, so I had to learn how to fix all that. So, but don't be shy, man. Y'all come up here and get it, and try it out. So for today's little topic, I have my own little topic that I'm gonna talk about. But before I do my stuff, I'm gonna get, like I said, a card. There's a little box with the cards, and it gives you topics of stuff you can talk about and stuff. But this little thing is called "Which moment from your life would you choose to relive if you could?" And I know there's a lot of us that we kind of rethink the past and say, "Man, if I could go back, redo that, it'd be a different path and all that." Me, honestly, everything that I've gone through, everything that I lived, I wouldn't change nothing because I take everything as a life lesson. I've done a lot of mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I've done a lot of mistakes, but it's a life learning experience for me. So now I know if I come through that situation again, I'm not gonna. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna redo my past mistake. But the one thing I probably would choose to relive is the one and only time that I had a conversation with my dad before he passed away in '06. I was 12 years old, and really I told him that I wish he wouldn't, because my dad was, like a lot of fathers back in the days, there were a lot of heavy drinkers, and that's what kind of caused my dad to get cancer, lung cancer. So if you know familiar with all that, cancer can be a scary sickness. It's very hard to get well from that. So you're in a basically 75-25 situation. But my last conversation with him, as I told him, I wish he wouldn't drink so much so he can at least be a little longer with us and get to see what kind of uh, what that moment that was a kid I would have grown up to be. But with the years' time, I come to learn is just everything comes with. If you're really very religious person, God always has our plan. He has our book, so He knows when our chapter ends. And so for my dad, sadly, that chapter was 47 years old. That was it for him. And so, really, what I would have chosen instead to tell him is instead of saying I wish you and what I said, but I wish I would have just told him, hey, don't worry about anything. Don't worry about my mom struggling or anything. Don't worry about that. I'll do the best that I can to help her out, help my little brother, because at the time he was 10. Now he's like over 25, so big old dude now. But I would have told him, don't leave this world worried or anything. I'll do my best to keep whatever keep your the way you had things going, the way you did things here. I'm gonna try to do my best to keep that going, because I know now, knowing now how I am now, I know my dad would probably be really proud of me. But The one thing I'm still struggling to do is grow crops the way he did, because him as growing up, uh, he told me, I said, that's one thing also would have loved to live is that have more conversations with my dad because I didn't really. We joked around and stuff. Me and my little brother, we joked with him, but we didn't really get to have like conversations the way he probably had with my older siblings. And the one thing that my sister told me. By the way, I want to make a shout out to my sister. Today's her actual birthday. If you do see the background, it's kind of like purple. Her favorite color is purple. I'm wearing purple myself in dedication to her because today she turns that big 4-0. So she's been 40 years walking this earth. So happy birthday, Diana. I see you later. I love you. But anyways, before uh, like I was saying, I wish I could have conversations more with him, and wish I can get to know how he did things when he was growing up. Because I tried doing things. I got to saw him growing some crops. I know he did some watermelons, some bananas, and stuff like that. I wish I could see him. Wish I was with him, seeing all that. I know I was with him when he changed brakes and all that. So that's why I was familiar with little mechanic work. But when I tried growing crops, man, that thing died right away, and I was like, dang, what can I do? I'm trying to learn. I'm YouTube, Google, researching what I can do to get better. But because now I want to teach my daughter and any future kids that I may have, I want to teach them to grow and not be reliable on just stores or anything. Because now we're having where you can't buy water, you can't buy, you don't know what you're buying or you don't know what you put in your body. So if you grow it yourself, so it's at least a little more healthier and all that. So that's what I'm trying to learn. But yeah, that's what I kind of would have chosen to if I would relive. I would chose that right there, so I can let him uh, go in peace. So because there's a lot of us that we leave this world and we still stuck on something. We're still stuck on maybe I could have done this or you. I think when you're in that bed, wherever you may be, but you're in the bed and you're reliving everything, you kind of realize, man, start thinking I could have done this differently, could have done that differently. That's why I kind of started doing podcasts because I didn't want to, when it came to my time, I didn't want to be laying in that bed and thinking I should have done it. I should have done. I may not blow up big or anything, but at least what I'm gonna tell my daughters, I tried it, and now I'm passing whatever you want to do. I'm passing this knowledge to you, and you go out there and try it yourself. Don't be afraid of because people are always gonna criticize it. I'm on the comment sections every now and then on people's other videos, the reels and stuff, and it's always negativity. It's always something that you could have done this, or you didn't cook this right, or you didn't put enough time, or you didn't chop them right. Like it's like people always criticize everything for no reason. I guess they just feel good for to post something negative. So really, all I can say is don't even listen. My own videos, I don't even look at the comments no more because I know one lady told me I need to do better research when I was doing new stuff. She was like, "You need to do better research. Trump's not a better president than Biden because Trump's a pedophile." I'm like, well, if you do it that way, Biden is no better than Trump. But a lot of people consider Biden a pedophile himself for always sniffing on kids and stuff. So, but if you going through who's better because of that, then who's really who doesn't do their research? I at least told her that I go by experience. And when Trump was back, Trump's not, don't get me wrong, he's still iffy right now. He's still, but back in 2016, his first term, it was a little better. Everything was a lot cheaper. But some people are saying everything has to go worse. We have to go through the worst to get to the better. So we still got a couple more years to find out whether really the second term is Trump gonna do better for us or not. So, but anyways, yeah, man, I think my message on this one is just don't be afraid. Get out there and do whatever you want to do, and do better. You know, don't be afraid to go out and pretty much don't live under a rock your whole life. Go out there, experience the world. Because there's always beautiful things out there. I always see people posting on Snapchat. Some of my friends they went out to the DR, Dominican Republic, or the other places of Mexico I haven't even seen. So, we just gotta get out there and just learn and live. Really, just live and all that. But let's get to my topic. What I wanted to talk about. I know I told my wife I was going to talk about religion and all that, but I came across this post where Trump was talking about apparently he was going to end he was going to pass a law called the no 50 law, something like that, where if you get a divorce, it's going to be the woman doesn't get everything. Like right now, I think right now, the woman gets a divorce, she pretty much keeps everything and gets like a good percent of the husband's paycheck. And I think the post talk about is that where Trump was gonna cut that off. Let me look at it real quick. I took a screenshot. I know I was supposed to write I was supposed to get my own notebook because my daughter wrote all over mine. So, but so it's the that's not it. That's not it either. Well, it was really where he talks about he was gonna cut off all the 50% and he was gonna and where women gets all that. When I first read that post, I was like, oh, he's just trying to protect his own money because of his lawsuit that he got, the hush money and all. He's just that's where I figured out like he's just trying to protect himself for any future lawsuits or anything, and other people, other rich people, because now I mean, if you from what I've seen on reels, a lot of people, a lot of women have been getting like a lot of money from. I think 50 Cent's ex-wife is getting like what $500,000 a month. Like that to me is crazy. But I mean, he's one of the best hip hop artists out there. So if he has that money to spend, that's up to that's them. But, yeah, that's what Trump was trying to. So I looked up to it and I was find out that it's false. There's Trump. It has not. It's not in talks of doing passing no law. The 50%. You know, it's still gonna be the same as it is right now. So really, this you just got to watch out for what you see at in Facebook or wherever Don't believe the social media news. Just look into whatever you can find because sometimes people all just post false stuff just to get likes or follows and all that. So I got the false one here. So false, like I said, it's a false. No such change has been made to divorce law at federal level at the time of writing. Only 9 states have rules that generally mean marital property is divided equally if a couple cannot otherwise agree on the distribution. And I was just wondering when I read all this, I was just wondering, I was like, well, how many divorces do we go through and all this? And so I started looking into that. So apparently, and this is from 2024. It says in the U.S., the divorce rate has generally been a downward trend. I'm sorry, has a downward trend, but it still stands at around 40 to 50% for first marriages. So I'm guessing first marriages, people. Well, when I were doing it, they said first marriages usually last up between 8 to 10 years. So up to 10 years is like after that, it's like that's when they just want to split and stuff. But my thing about that is like if you should first, I think before you get married, because getting married is a big deal. And for anybody who wants to say how well, Big A, what do you know about marriage? I went through 2 marriages. Well, no, it's one marriage, but my first one is a court, and then again through church with the same lady. I didn't go through different marriages. I went through two different types of marriages with the same lady. And my wife has actually been my high school sweetheart. We like I said in one of my old videos in the past, we got together in high school freshman year. All through high school, we were together. We split right after graduation in case really we just wanted to go out because in your 20s you want to have fun, and so you don't want to burn bridges with that person if you care about them. That's the thing. If you care about them, you don't want to do all that. So it's better just to split, have your fun, and then it happened to me. Me and my wife now back together in 2018, 2019, 2021. We got married to court, and 2024 last year in June we got married to church. So it can happen. Now I've been knowing her for 10 years, so I think that's one thing you need to do first is get to know them really because when you first start dating, you don't really know them at all. You just know you their personality, but you don't know their true character or anything. So I think just get to know them first, and then if you're thinking about it about marriage, if it come across your mind, I think you should move in together so you can know their true nature. That's when it's really because you're bringing what you learned as a kid to her, and then she's bringing whatever she learned as a kid to you, and that's where it's a big mashup, and that's where you gotta start bumping heads or disagreeing and stuff. So learn to you know when you mash up, learn to put it together like a little clay. You know, you put in two different type of clay and put it together so it becomes one unity. But that I think that's the problem right now. I mean, there's other things, because I mean, some people like I'll bring up Jeff Bezos. That's one thing. When I came across doing this research, I saw Jeff Bezos, which has happened 6 years ago. But I saw his post. I don't know if it's his post, but I saw a post that Jeff Bezos came out and talked about. I got it right here. I can read it to you guys. So it says, I lost over 38 billion in cash and 30%, 35% of Amazon to my ex-wife Mackenzie. I was worth about 76 million by then. I could never make the mistake of getting married again. That turned out to be false. I was married to my ex-wife Mackenzie over 25 years, but she just woke up one day and told me that she was already tired of our boring marriage and she wanted a divorce. And when I asked her if there's anything that I could do to change her mind, she told me that if I can give her half of my 76 billion fortune and 50% of my shares of Amazon, she'd consider staying. I begged her not to file for divorce, but she still went ahead and to file. She still went ahead and filed for divorce. Then I realized if I gave her half of my wealth she requested, she would still file a divorce afterwards and take of what I would be left. So I let her do it. When we got to court, my attorney was able to give her just half of my cash and 35% of Amazon. If she could do this to me after 25 years of marriage, it only means marriage isn't meant for men. I'll never get married again because I'm not a women's empowerment agency. Like I said, this was 6 years ago. I don't know if this is really Jeff Bezos, but that's false because now the woman well, before I say this, when I looked into it, um, according to other sources, Jeff Bezos, everything I just read, basically, what I took it from, basically, it was a lie. Jeff Bezos was cheating on his wife with his now fiance, I think now wife, for 6 to 8 months before the wife, I think, found out and filed for divorce. So, like I said, don't trust anything on social media because anything can be either true or false. Which what I've seen is mainly false. But so I have here Jeff Bezos cheating on his wife with his now fiance Lauren Sanchez led to the most expensive divorce in history, but he was always open to the affair. Which, from what I just read, he was denying it, but it is what it is. So that's one. That's one of the things I'm saying. Like, of course, it was mainly cheating, but for him to come out and say he was bored, or that she was bored and just wanted to take, or that she wanted to take half of his money. So it's like, come on, bro. You not one, you lied. Two, you try to hide the secret. So it's like, if you'd have just been straightforward with everybody, I think he would have got a little more respect. But that's one thing we just got to watch out. Marriage marriage is more about when a big problem comes up, how both of y'all are gonna handle it together. It's not, oh, I'm gonna do this and you just handle it a different way. No, it's a team. It's a team effort. I mean, I don't want to post. I don't want to talk about people's stories, personal stories. But my wife sent me one thing about a lady. She talked about on TikTok. She talked about her friend, how she just got a divorce, and I'm just gonna say it. I didn't want to say it, but it's another big thing. So she was married to some guy for about 8 to 10 years, I think. So it's a first marriage, and but they were going. Was her husband was working all the time. He was pretty much. I guess he must have worked in the oil field or big, but he's gone most of the time. He was working, and she started seeing how other people, or I'm assuming her friends, or just other people in general, were just going out with their couples and having fun and stuff. So she started wanting to have that. That's what she wanted. So she told her husband if she could, or I guess that's what she told. And but he said no because I have bills to pay, and so if I go out, it's gonna throw off some money, and it was gonna throw him off. So she kind of just went her own way. She filed, I think she filed for divorce and went her own way. She started wanting to go out and have fun, when she started doing all that. Time came went on. They had kids. I think they were little kids at the time. Now they're a little more grown, but she started realizing, she needs to be more of her kids and stuff. So she started realizing that. Well, they asked her if she was gonna settle down with like a young kid or somewhere, and she was like, no, because all they want to do is have fun. All they want to do is go out and party and drink and go clubbing and stuff. She's like, I need someone that can help me support these kids that she has, and help pay with the bills and stuff. And I think her friend was there at the time, or and I overheard that, and so she was like, well, you had that. You had that type of guy that was taking care of you, and you just threw it all away because you wanted to have fun. Like, how are you gonna just? That's kind of like a hypocrite type. How are you just gonna throw it away for someone, just to have fun? And so on. I think now she's mad, or she's trying to file. I don't know what it was. I really wasn't paying attention to the big story all the time, but I think now she's trying to. She's mad because the husband now has a wife, and she's a stay at home wife. She's taking care of not only his kids, her kids. He's paying all the bills. He pretty much got himself a wife, that a loyal one that is taking care of everything. And so now the ex wife is all mad, and I think she's trying to keep the kids away and stuff. So you gotta realize, man, you you're not paying attention to what you have. You're focusing on other people's, or what they got going on. But you gotta realize it's your situation, their situation. It's maybe not the same at all, because you may have a good marriage, and they have is just a good dating, going on, a good, yeah, going on. They're not gonna last forever. They're just dating just to have fun. But then eventually they're gonna either get together or find their one they're meant to be. Eventually they're gonna settle down. That's what it's gonna happen. So you can't just always look at other people. You got to focus on what you have. And if you wanted to have fun, maybe having fun isn't like going clubbing or not. Maybe having fun is going to, play golf, or do a couple things, go to a comedy show. That's when you get married, you got to realize having fun is not like the old school way, where you go clubbing, having fun and all that. You got to have fun in a different way. Maybe once a month, or maybe once in a blue moon, 3 months, 6 months, you can go out and do that. You just got to plan for it. You got to have a babysitter. You got to have other people that are willing to watch, your kids, whatever age kids you guys have. You got to plan ahead. And so you can't just rely on other people's, just don't pay attention to other people. Just pay attention to what you have and realize what you got, and just have fun with what you have. So, just don't focus on anything. I think my message today for this is, you gotta take care of what you got. Don't rely on other people's, their lifestyles, because everybody's different. Everybody has a different lifestyle, and we all have fun in different ways. So, you know, be happy with who you got. One thing, choose wisely. That's one thing my mom did tell me, is to make sure you choose wisely, because this is a lifetime decision. This is not a decision that, oh, within a couple months it'll change. Or this is a lifetime decision. This is the person that you choose that you're gonna grow old with, and this is the one person that you chose to have kids with, and you're gonna raise. You're gonna throw the knowledge that you know to them, and raise them together. And then one thing that my in-laws was when my wife, before my wife, we were just a couple. I didn't go visit my wife as a dating that much because my wife said that her parents, when she was growing up, they told her, make sure don't bring them over unless you know you're 100% sure that's the one. And at first I was like, what the heck? But then now I understand because you don't want to just be meeting all these. I mean, it's fun to meet these younger kids, and you're experiencing you're seeing your son, daughter, and their relationship. It's fun, but when they break up and everything, and then you run into them at the store, and sometimes it's a little awkward or something, but you still gotta say you gotta say hi. But when my in-law told me they don't want to go through all that because what if they end up liking this person and then the next one they don't like, and it's just like, man, you start realizing your own child is making dumb decisions. But um so it's all the decisions that we go through. So, but yeah, just choose wisely and just be careful of who you choose and stuff. Because uh, when I was doing the research, it was a lot of marriages ending marriages was because of money issues, but now really is mainly cheating. Mainly, I guess people getting bored. One guy is not loyal, a girl's not loyal. That's a higher rate. I didn't want to put all the business out there, but cheating is, I think, one of the key things we got. One of the key problems we got going on right now. But hey, just keep it. Just stay true to the whoever you're dating. Just stay true to them, and just be honest, man. Just be straight up. So that's my episode for today. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be back next month, hopefully, with Mr. TG3. I'm gonna hop on that Phenomenal Friday with him. Shout out to him for inviting me, and we're gonna talk about, well, whatever that will be my first actual episode podcast that I get um, I got invited to, and so I'm looking forward to that. So we'll be back in here next month. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching. If you went through all this episode, and like I said, man, just strive for what you want to do. Strive. If you're young, you got plenty of time. If you're 30 like me, we're halfway. You still got time, but you know, every little second counts. So choose wisely. But thank you guys. I'll catch you on the next episode.